Hey guys, what is going on? It's not summer yet, but you know I always call it summer after Memorial Day, so I hope you're all having a good summer. Lord knows that season is too short, so we'll make all the hype we can about the warm weather. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to do a few things. Our feature race is going to be some really epic FTE castings that I haven't run. There's only going to be one that was in my collection before. Everything else you're going to see is brand new, cracked, and dusted. Um, Before we get started, I've just been trying to search out channels of any new guys out there that are doing what we do in terms of drag racing. And there's a couple guys I want you to go subscribe to. They're young guys. They're both running the 6 lane. But for all of us out there, remember, we were all running the 6 lane. I'm thinking of Mr. Mom. I'm thinking of Blue Line. I'm thinking of Red Pill. Thinking of Bobby D. I'm thinking of Scale Racing, myself, among others, um, that started out. And Calgary, I think Aaron didn't run the 6 lane. I think he built right away. But for a lot of us, we start out doing a 6 lane. T Dog, capital T space capital DAWG. That's the channel name. He's a young man, and I think you're going to be enamored with him about his passion for racing and many other things. He calls a great race. He knows his castings, and he has a lot of them. And right now, he's doing a King of the Hill that if you want to catch up on to see what he's all about, he has some fast cars. So in his honor, I picked up a Tour de Fast. This is one of the cars that he will be featuring in his July 4th race. I am going to be a spoiler here. On one of the days, this car did make it through. And so I wanted to feature it for him just to show him and everyone what it'll do on the quarter-mile drag strip. So um, that's going to be our one car we send down before we get going in anything. Then the other channel, I'm bringing out my Ferrari F40 that's in my ranks because there's a guy, Tundra's Racing, capital TUNDRA apostrophe S Racing. And you see what that guy has in terms of a collection. I was blown away. He has walls of cars. And he's now just starting to get into racing. And like a lot of us, tired of seeing him collecting dust. And you want to talk about some epic Ferraris that this guy has? I haven't seen some of them. Like one of the more recent champions he had, I didn't know what it was. He's running a 6 lane. I don't think either of these guys are running dust, which is fine. You can still pull out some castings that you see that are bone stock. That if they're running that fast stock, you don't know what they're going to do when they're worked. This guy here is worked. Before we get into that, the track. Um, I know Tim had sent his cars, and they're the fastest cars out there stock. Somebody's going to have to beat him to prove me otherwise because he has ridiculous Mustangs. And so whatever I'm saying here right now does not take away from what he did or what he would do on this track. This track is now an inch and a quarter shorter. A couple guys had said, your track, I think, is just too long, just eyeballing it. And what I did is I started measuring from the beginning of the orange track rather than the start of the pin. That is an inch and a quarter exactly between the track and that. And when I measured this with a very special tape measure from the track to where I had it down at the finish line, it was exactly an inch and a quarter over 20 feet, 7.5 inches, which is a scale quarter-mile. So we took the measurements, again, with a special tape measure, which it was able to start it from the pin this time, guys. And then I ran it, and I made the appropriate cuts down at the finish line. Luckily, I had some slack down here at the finish line to where these short pieces were kind of my fit pieces. So what I did is I just shortened them up and right to those center lights that you see under the finish gate. That is 20 feet 7.5 inches on the dime. That's going to change my times. It's probably going to change some of my head-to-head races. It does not change the fact that what Blue Line did when he set his Mustangs here was literally rip this thing to pieces. So I'll try to calibrate my stuff and then adjust his times accordingly. Like I know where my fast stuff averaged, based on 4 runs, or where my cars, that I ran that day. And I'll just do it, percentage-wise down, because there was no doubt what I saw with my own eyes, what those Mustangs were able to do. With that said, in honor of one of the gentlemen, the first gentleman who said, "I think your track is just a little bit too long," it's Bobby D. Bobby ran one of these art series bone shakers. And so just in honor of Bobby D, I got one here just last week, and I'm going to start showing you wheel spins on things before we send them down. This car does weigh under 30 grams, and we're going to speed test this mother-in-law and see where he fits maybe in my ranks. Boy, that's a nice spin. Damn. I didn't even pre-spin any of these, so I don't even know. Everything I do is candid, guys. I show you kind of what I see for the very first time as well. All right, here we go. We do have the spacer in the left lane, or the right lane, so the left lane's ready to rock. 2114 for an under 30 gram casting isn't bad, but let's switch up the lanes and see if there's a little bit of a break in. I think that thing will be in the ranks. Not sure what will be overall. Let's get him back to the top. We switch the spacer. Here we go for run number 2. 2100. Not too bad. Not too bad. Let's go get a weight on this guy, and we'll just try to measure it up against one of my top cars in the 30 and under bracket. And there he sits, 29.6 grams. This is my 3rd fastest car, one I think Brandon just featured. I've been running this one for a little bit. It's called the X-Team. It is out of the X-Racers 5-pack. It is a 30 and under car for guys that are maybe still looking for some fast cars. 29.8 grams. Don't know the potential of them because I haven't chased anything, to be honest with you, for 30 and under. I'm going to get my ass handed to me in that class. I mean, I have a couple contenders, but I know there's going to be guys that have some freaks. But yeah, I haven't chased these, but I'm thinking, this would be one to chase if you really wanted to get into the flyweights. Yeah, the flyweights to me always kind of were, oh, wow, they're under 30 grams or they're 30 or under. I wasn't really looking for a lightweight flyer, but if I stumbled across them, great. So that's kind of how my 30 and under class works. This guy was pretty fast. Let's see what happens against, though, the Art Series Bone Shaker. Good race. 2087 to a 2102. Good race to the end. The X-Team had a little bit more on that top end, but let's switch them up. All right, not a bad showing by the Art Car Bone Shaker. When they're head-to-head, there's that turbulent air that can slow some cars down. I'm going to say most cars. Some cars can power through that air, and others struggle through but still do well head-to-head in their beats. Here we go, race 2. X-Team just with that top end, 91 to 2101. Real consistent times there. So I'm liking how the track is running, and liking how that Bone Shaker is running. He's definitely going to be in my ranks, most likely in like a top 8 position. So let's send it back up, and I'll run a couple other cars here. All right. In honor of Tundra's Racing, that again is Tundra apostrophe S Racing. Yeah, good channel. Not a lot of subscribers, so that's why I'm trying to pump it a little bit so you guys can um, get a look at it. Tundra, I'll run this guy down. He's one of my faster ones. I'm curious to see what he runs now with the new track setup. So we'll be right back. We'll go set up the spacer and we'll get this Ferrari F40 weight up and in the gate. All right, Tundra, your F40 that's on the Champions podium at yours might weigh right around what this does. This is 51 grams, and typically those metal bottom F40s are right around there. Yours is a 5-spoke. This one is a 5-hole silver. This came in a 5-pack back in the 90s, and it's rare. A lot of these 5-packs came with the white F40, but they came with the regular 5-spokes. This guy here has always been fast for me. Not my fastest car by any means, but my fastest F40 for sure. And yeah, it's a cool piece. Now, what you have in your other Ferraris are some of the ones I've never seen before, and I'm so super impressed. 'Cause I have a Ferrari collection that I don't crack or talk about too much, but you have an amazing collection, my friend. So Tundra's Racing, guys, go check them out. Here we go. Run hot lap number 1. 2050. Let's switch them up. So Tundra, remember those other cars we were running? We're running like 2090s and 2100s. That weight difference does mean a lot on the track. And then as you get into this more, you'll see that various castings of the same style, type, year, make, model, that type of thing, they vary a lot based on a lot of factors. Axle stability and wheel, wheel roundness is definitely one of them, but it's not everything. Sometimes just the internals of these cars or how they run down the track will make such a huge difference. Even cars that seem perfect aren't running perfect times. So the freaks that you get, take care of them. All right, so that red F40, he might be a freak for you, or about 3 months. Who knows? Let's run him on lane 2, see if he can do a little bit better. And his time, 20:59. He does not do better. I don't know what that means. Like I say, I got to run these other cars against them. We'll recalibrate some things after we're done with this. But I just wanted to show you the speed of that type of weight of a car versus cars of lighter weight. So as you get into it and you're seeing fast cars that might be 30 to 40 grams, that type of thing, you're going to see a lot of them that just look crazy fast. Well, that weight just makes such a big difference. And then when you get into wheel type and then however these internals are set up, that these cars are able to outperform even their similar type cars. You could have 2 cars look exactly the same, running crazy different speeds. So it is a labyrinth of of a journey to try to get your collection fast. Up next, T-Dog, capital T, space, DAWG, capital T, space, capital DAWG. Great young guy, has a great King of the Hill. And right now, this Tour de Fast turned my head. And I know Brandon from Scale Racing ran this before, and he was impressed with it. It's 33.7 grams. Not a lot of weight to it. Let's see what it clocks in times. We'll get him racked up. We'll go get that spacer set, and we'll be right back. All right, T-Dog. Here we go. Quarter mile. Quiet. 21:02. Right there with that bone shaker. Let's switch it up. Race 2. Again, these cars have been dusted with graphite, and a break-in run is usually needed. Let's see if we can get a little faster time out of him this time. Here we go. Run number 2. Here we go. 2091. That's actually not too bad. Let's put him up against the Gatekeeper, because 2090 in my old track was always where that was. This may not make it, but we'll put him up against the Gatekeeper, which I do believe is Diesel Boy. All right, T-Dog, what I have here, I rank them by weights. I kind of started a wave here last year, which is kind of cool, seeing so many guys getting onto it. And there's a huge race coming up on Scale Racing Channel if you want to go check that out, T-Dog, and or Tundra's Racing. I think it's going to be in July, and it's going to be real interesting to see what guys bring. I know they're going to blow my stuff out of the water, but I have fun with this. My inner wheel is plastic. My outer wheel is metal. So this is my 31 to 40 gram plastic and metal. So right now, there's 12 cars, in the plastic, and there's 12 cars in the metal. And the number 12, we always call the Gatekeeper. And in this case, when the track was a little bit longer, but I think we're going to be okay here, is Diesel Boy. I think it's going to be a good race. I think this Tour de Fast has shown itself now in a couple tracks, and I liked what I saw out of that last run. So we'll put Tour de Fast in the left lane and the Gatekeeper Diesel Boy in the right lane. Let's get some weight on him. 33.7 was the Tour de Fast. Diesel Boy is 36.4 grams. Plastic bottom, 31 to 40. Gatekeeper race. Ooh, Diesel Boy. Looking pretty good there. 2079 to 2104. Let's switch them up. All right, T-Dog. Now remember, both of these are graphited. If you want a little advice on graphite, shoot me your email and a message, and I'll try to help you out a little bit there too. You'll see the big difference in a lot of the cars. They just wake up. Let's see what happens here in race 2, Gatekeeper race. Much closer. Much closer. There we go. 2089 for the Tour de Fast. 2083 for the Diesel Boy. Diesel Boy does keep that Gatekeeper spot, but I'm going to work on that Tour de Fast a little bit. It might be breaking into the graphite, and I might have some fun with it. All right, guys, let's just get one more thing off our plate today. I did a rework on this Crescendo. I don't know which version this is. I think it was a single pack version. This is the clear wheels that I've talked about before, and I've run this before, but I just did a rework of a new technique that I'm trying out, hoping it works. And he's going to be my first victim, I guess. Hopefully not a victim. Hopefully he's the first candidate of many that are going to show a little bit more speed. 33.4 grams. We'll go get the oh, you know what, the heck with it. I'm not gonna speed run them. I'm gonna run them cold. 31 to 40 metal. Bone Shaker FTE is our Gatekeeper. Pardon any phlegm noises today. 36.3 grams. Let's get it in the rack and get these bad boys flying down the track. Okay. They look good. No break-in runs for either, so we'll see how this goes. That is all Bone Shaker. It looks like a one and done to me. 82 to 91. That's a great time. Okay, we'll switch them up anyway. Maybe there's a break-in factor, but I think I saw what I needed to see. Race 2. Bone Shaker again gets the win. 2079 to a better time of 2084. I'm going to run this Crescendo off camera for a couple runs And I'll only do a matchup if I see him in the 2070s. For the Crescendo, 2087 and 2089 were his runs. So real consistent after that first run. Fast, but just not good enough to get in that 31 to 40 metal class with the Bone Shaker. All right, a little bit of a bonus, pre-bonus. I want to see what he runs on this thing now that the track has been adjusted. My hope is between 2048 and 2054. It's not going to beat Red Pill. That will not beat Red Pill. But it might read his license plate. I don't think anything else out there is going to read that license plate. But if I can at least read the license plate, I'll be happy. All right, here we go. And 2050. 2050. Not bad. Switch it up. Let's take him to the top. We'll run him one more time. I mean, that's the time that Ferrari F40 ran the first time. So let's see what he does on hot lap number 2. Seemed a little faster. It was not. 2053. That's not going to beat that black car. But right now, that's the fastest guy I have for 31 to 40s, or the 40 gram and unders. So we'll see if we can work on him a little bit. But yeah, that's not going to touch that black car. All right, guys, what we have the feature race going, and in between rounds, we'll run a couple bonus races for you, little bonus runs, and we'll come back and we'll do the semifinals, maybe run a couple other bonuses here, and then we'll do our finals. So we'll just kind of take care of everything in one bite. These FTEs are all ones that I've gotten except one. So we're going to start on that race. So his white car is up on the top right. This is the rework car of the Toyota AE86, and it's been reworked. I'll try to show you wheel spin a little bit more. And let's get the weight. $35.1. Okay. Next up, Aaron of Calgary Diecast Racing just broke one of these, and I'm not going to spoil it. Go watch his Viva Las Vegas race. That has to be the most epic name of a contest ever in diecast, and so don't even try to beat it. Just let it there. Viva Las Vegas. He ran it a few days ago, so if you go to Calgary Diecast Racing, you will see it. He is a Vega nut, and rightfully so. These are such cool cars. We got this guy here last week. Busted him, dusted him, and he's ready to go. Get his weight, 35.9. Let's get these guys racked up. And let's start the first race of this FTE 8-car battle. Really curious to see if anybody stands out time-wise, matchup-wise, in the matchup races, and see if they can get them in the ranks. All right, a reworked AE86 FTE versus a white Vega FTE. Gotta love it. Race 1, the Vega was swimming like a fish. Really bad. 2108 to a 2085 for the 86. Man, that's a 23 thousandths difference. Let's switch them up. Race 2. Vega just does not like the run. When it gets down in the flat, it just swims like Mark Spitz. Holy heck, 2130 is terrible. 2094 for the A86, it moves on. Okay, guys, let's see who the Toyota is going to face. we have a Lotus Esprit. Gotta love this car, man. I saw this on Bobby D's too, and then there was a channel, I think it was Big Poppy last year. He ran this on a hill, and it looked pretty good. And I had one, and with FTEs, I always like just keep it boxed until I can get another one. And that is what just happened. I got another one, so I broke the card that was worse, 37.4 grams. And we're now seeing this bad boy run. Beautiful car. Love the fire paint on it. It's like an abstract fire on it. More structured design on that hood. Orange window tint. Great car. Love to see it in person sometime. You know, even, I mean, it's not a paint job like that, but next up is the Nissan Z FTE. I had one. Never ran one, though. I don't like the wheels on these. The wheels don't seem great. I got the spin as good as I could. I tried to quiet the stop. That's so important. You don't want to be able to stop real suddenly. You like to see that just float to a stop. That ensures max top end. 34.3. Let's rack them. Race one. Lotus is nice. Oh, they're both nice. Sammy Davis Jr. 2063. All right, guys. We will switch them up. Race two. They're both fast. That Nissan broke in 2073 to 2080. Not too bad. The Lotus moves on. Unfortunately for the Nissan, his day is over. All right, guys, let's do some real quick testing of a couple cars. This is a Monopoly Johnny Lightning Monopoly Silverado. The problem with all of these Silverados, and especially this guy who is incredibly fast, is that underneath, the structure of the bed rubs right against these damn wheels. And so it inhibits the spin. I worked meticulously to try to get in there and do some things. And I worked with these axles a little bit. And I do have them mostly free spinning. I'm not touching it. I'm not going to show you the spin. You're just going to have to trust me that right now, if it's going to max out, this is when it's going to max out. I'm going to turn the camera off and make sure those wheels are still spinning the way they need to, because I want to send him to see what his potential is. So I'll be right back. I'm pleased to announce that for the period of time that I've worked this guy in those back wheels, those are the freest spinning I have ever had on that truck. So, I mean, they weren't compromised at all. So spacer is set, so I'm ready to go. Here we go. Race number one. Yeah. 2089. The FTEs ran faster than that. We're gonna one and done that. I'll take a look at that off camera, but all right, one more run in the right-hand lane, and that'll be it. My brain was talking to myself there saying, just give it one more chance. All right, here it is. Yeah, there's your one more chance. 2109. His days are done. Go back to your box. And that turd weighed in at a whopping 68 grams. So see, you can't even go by weight. You can mostly, but when you've got 30-gram cars gapping anything that's twice its weight, yeah. Here we go, guys. I'm a little upset about this one. You know, and you love the V16s. Unfortunately, the weight on this guy pisses me off a little bit. Yep. over the weight for Brandon's race. It'd have to be 40.9 or under to qualify. And this guy does not. We'll send him down, though, just to see what happens. And right now the spacer's not set, but I'll go trip it myself. Hot lap 1. I like the sound of it. And the winner is 2084. We'll switch it up one more time and we'll call that a wrap. So if you guys are sending V16s, you saw what that Camaro ran. Okay, so here we go. Run number 2. About the same. Okay, not the same. 69. I'll turn the camera off and run them down maybe a couple more times. We'll match them up against my plastic 41 250 Gatekeeper. Kind of excited. This V16 ran back-to-back 2072s. Mr. Mom's minivan awaits as our Gatekeeper in the 41 to 50 plastic. For the new guys, my plastic rankings start here and they run this way. And my metal rankings are down on the bottom. There's 12 of them. They run the same way. They go from right to left. All right. Let's weigh these bad boys. Mr. Mom's 5-spoke minivan. 43.3. White Cadillac, 41.1, as we know. Another channel just popped into my head, DXP Racing. That guy's starting to build a very excellent collection of stock speed, but what I hope the builders are noticing is how much his builds are improving. His builds were always good, but more recently, man, he's been really impressing me in terms with what he's been doing. But with his stock stuff, yeah, go check out his channel, DXP Diecast Racing. They're in the line, and they are off. That was a close race, and V16 took it. 2071 to 2073. Let's switch them up. 2 1,000ths advantage for the V16. Race 2. Yeah, V16, let's go. So consistent. 2070 to 2077. We got to say goodbye to Mr. Mom's minivan. He moves up. Well, next up on the block is the Cadillac Escalade. These were all not reworked with my new method. This V16 was. I can't even explain my new method. It's so damn complicated. Using 4 different graphites and 3 different types of applications. So yeah, it's crazy. But just trying to piece things together from what other communities are doing and seeing if it works. So far, I like the result from those FTEs for sure, and now definitely this V16. See what happens here. This is a big race. That V16 got the Cadillac Escalade FTE 63 to 77. Hello. Let's switch it up. Lanes are switched. That time the Escalade got him. Got him 2059 to 2061. 2 fast cars. Right now, that Cadillac has a bigger beat. But I'm going to say that Escalade needed a break-in. So right now, I'm going to give the Escalade the benefit of the doubt and a 2 1,000ths beat. So when we switch lanes, that'll be the determining race. Race 2. I did not like how the Escalade got out of the gate. So we will reset that and we'll take him right back to the top. Race 2. Good start. All Escalade. No, Cadillac at the end. Holy heck. I knew that had to be close. 63 to 65. We have two very fast cars. We will calibrate this all off camera and worry about it later. Guys, let's move on to that FTE race. Let's keep it going. All right, guys, I just had to know, and I actually wanted to share it because, yeah, that was pretty impressive. He sits now number 7 in the 41 to 50 plastic class. He took care of a really, really fast F-150, ran a 20:59 in doing it. That was pretty crazy. Ended up with a 2/1000ths beat over Buzz Lightyear, but then Buzz Lightyear ran a 20:60 to his 20:64. Buzz Lightyear had a 2/1000ths advantage after 2 races. So right now he sits a very competitive number 7. Man, oh man, that was good stuff. You don't see that every day. At least, I mean, I don't see that every day in the rankings. So that's always exciting for a car that's just freshly cracked. Let's get back at our first round races in this, which I think is a very exciting FTE race. And this is the Mini Cooper. The Super Cooper weighs in at 39.3 grams. How about that? Metal bottom. And we'll show you some wheel spin here, if we can. He's ready to go. We'll rack him in lane 1. His opponent is a freshly cracked pocket bikester. This guy is one of my top ranked cars in the 31 to 40 metal class and has run some pretty scary good times. Let's check his wheel spin and then we'll get his weight. Looking good. Love that slow stop. Here we go. Come on, baby. Oh, come on. You got to be kidding me. We'll try it again. 41 grams? Really? 41 grams. Throw it in the river. Oh man, I thought we had another high 40-gram car here. Maybe he won't be as fast as that other one because that other one was a jet, and I was hoping maybe to get lucky and have a freak that was like in that 40.8 or 40.9 gram. He is not qualified for Brandon's race. He is out. Let's see what happens here. Mini Cooper in lane 1. Pocket Bikester in lane 2. Look at that Mini Cooper go. Mini Cooper with the win. 2079 to 2081. Let's go. Let's switch them up, and that's a great time to possibly be in the ranks. Who knows? We'll see. 2/1000ths advantage for the Mini Cooper. Race 2. Oh, the Cooper I thought had him, but no. Pocket Bikester came back with the win. Cooper again ran 2078, 2071 for the Pocket Bikester. He moves on. Not to worry for the Nissan Z and the Mini Cooper. We'll be testing them after the race. For right now, this 41 gram Pocket Bikester moves on to the semifinals. Let's go to the other semis. Finally, I got a Chrysler 300C Hemi FTE with 4 good wheels. It's been a long